Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 24th. Aries, I have the 4th popping into my head as well, so I don't remember what week the week of the 4th was. Sorry, I can't get this card either off the table. But I think what's popping into my head is that if there was something that came up, whatever that week was, it might have been like the week of the 3rd, July 3rd, whatever the first week was. If you had something come up during that time, it's like you could be revisiting something from like the first week of the month. It looks like it's a good thing, is what I would say. For some of you, maybe you've been waiting on like news or communication here with the Eight of Wands. You've been waiting for like an approval or something like that. It looks to me like you could be getting news or approval at this time. It literally popped into my head when I started the reading. I was like 24th, 4th. I kept having the 4th pop into my head for some reason. You have this happiness card. It says, things are going well and feeling fulfilled in life. Go after your dreams. The universe is giving you a big yes. There you go. Partnership. It says you're manifesting a strong partnership or you're manifesting a strong and successful partnership. Consider having a partner who can bring the experience you lack. So this does not have to be in love either. It could be in business. It could just be for fun in your life, like whatever you want. I feel this could be someone who really balances you out. You have the Justice card here. See, this right here is totally giving me approval vibes, like I said, Aries. So I really feel if you've been waiting for an approval since the first week of the month, it could have even been, the last week of June or something like that, right? I don't trust psychic timing at all. As I always say, the universe doesn't wear a watch, so, it is what it is. But, I feel that there's like some sort of approval that, and again, this is for those of you that have been waiting for some sort of approval here, Aries. So it's like, you're getting, something approved. So I love it. You have the Eight of Wands, the Empress, and the Moon card here. I do see like quick movement for you this week, things kind of transforming quickly in your life. It could also be a very quick start that you're having with the Fool. It isn't, what I will say is that a lot of the signs kind of had cards that would represent things happening very quickly. There are a million cards in these decks that represent things happening quickly. So Eight of Wands is a card of momentum, and it's a card of things happening fast in your life. But you also have the Eight of Pentacles. I love this. This tells me that you're getting results for your work, or that you could be getting results based off of like what you're working on. I also feel that you could just be tapping into an energy. It's funny because literally right before I started this reading, I was talking to my assistant, and I was talking about another business, but I was talking about how I notice these like waves sometimes in business where it's like all of a sudden, a bunch of new customers will show up, or all of a sudden something else will happen, right? And I kind of get that for you here, Aries, where it's like all of a sudden, you're like tapping into like a wave of abundance, or, it could be all of a sudden a bunch of people are interested in you. Like maybe you've been in the desert in love for quite a while, and you have the Three of Cups here, and this could say that all of a sudden a person or a bunch of people are showing their interest. You have the Empress here, which says you're very attractive at this time. Doesn't matter what gender you are either. And the thing is that the Empress is very abundant. So the reason you could be attractive is because you're just giving off a very abundant energy at this time. So this is a good thing. Again, I would take advantage of this. Obviously, don't get taken advantage of people who just want to steal your light. But, if you're looking for a job, for example, I always say with the Empress, if you get an energy like I'm getting off of this reading, it would be a good time to go look for a new job. Because again, I feel like you're giving off, it's almost like you're just catching a wave of energy, or you're giving off this energy that is attracting like whatever you need into your life very quickly. So it's like now is the time to go do those things. Same thing with love. I would get out there. You have the Moon. It's almost like you can't believe something is happening in your life with the Moon card. The Moon doesn't say stop. The Moon says go to these mountains and you will have some sort of achievement. And actually going this way, we go up to the Knight of Pentacles. Sometimes I think the Knight of Pentacles is no action. He basically says you're not taking action on something that you need to take action on. And, it could be because of the Moon energy. The Moon could say that there are things that maybe you don't know. I also think it's interesting that he has his pentacle up to the Nine of Cups, which is total fulfillment. But then you have this wasp and this butterfly, two totally different, but they're showing up in the good stuff. So they're going to be good no matter what. But the wasp says sometimes life stings. It's almost like I see you, looking at a choice that you have to make this week. And maybe it's something you've been thinking of since, the beginning of the month, like I already said. And it's like you're looking at, I think you're looking at how it could sting. And you're also looking at how it could be very transformative with that butterfly card. card. And I feel like it's saying, like, go through the transformation. Yeah, look, with 8 of Wands, you have the 9 of Cups. So things, moving towards fulfillment very rapidly, but it's like you're not moving here. The Knight of Pentacles, you even have this card that says you're stepping into a brand new chapter. So there's the moon to me kind of really represents the fear of the unknown. It's like the moon is part of the fool's journey. He has to step into darkness. He doesn't exactly know what he's doing. He doesn't exactly know where he is going, but he has to get to those mountains no matter what. And even if he has to learn along the way. And I feel the Knight of Pentacles is actually kind of giving you confidence to step into the unknown. With the Empress, you have the Temperance card. Yeah, you will never be stuck is what I'm getting here. Temperance is being able to turn one thing into another. It's a card of alchemy, so I feel this is giving you confidence to realize that you can always turn one thing into another, and that really you're never really stuck. I know sometimes people feel stuck. I felt stuck in periods of my life, but I've always gotten out of it. So, and I feel the same for you. It's like you will always be able to get out of these periods of stuckness. Now, with the Moon card, you have the King of Swords here. Now, it could be an air sign coming in for some of you. This could also be an expert who's coming in for you. I always look at the King of Swords as, a mentor, someone you look up to, and it could be any gender. It doesn't matter what gender it is. But, I feel for a lot of you, you could be maybe needing help to get started on a new journey. And the King of Swords just says there's probably a person who knows a lot more than you that you could learn from. So if there are people you look up to or whatever, don't be afraid to learn from them. You don't even have to talk to these people. You can learn from people on YouTube through their books that they've written, all sorts of stuff. You have this card that says, in the area of what you need to hear right now, it says, time has run out. There's something better. Current conditions will be short-lived. You have this Capricorn season that says, hard work will pay off. Weigh up every pro and con. I was getting something about that with the wasp and the butterfly, kind of. Not really pros and cons, but I kind of, because I feel like you're seeing how something might sting, but also how something might be a really good transformation. So don't be afraid to make a transformation. I feel like you already have boundaries up against something that says, this card said, what did it say? The time has run out. Right, that's right. So I feel like you already have boundaries up against something where the time has run out. With that 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is drawing a line in the sand. It is saying, right here, and it's saying, it's basically you saying you're no longer willing to accept less than, whatever boundary you have set. So I feel that a lot of you are kind of setting boundaries in your life. You're making sure that people don't cross these boundaries, and you're making sure, I also feel like you're more certain of yourself. I always say that the 7 of Swords is a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know that you're going to be successful in some area of your life, or it could also be love as well. Like it can say that you know that what you deserve in a relationship. You have the 10 of Cups at the end, and you're not willing to accept less. So I feel like you're really standing up to your boundaries, or you're, sticking up for your beliefs. I think we can set beliefs. It's like we can set boundaries in relationships, and then we still can let people cross those boundaries, right? And I feel like you're not doing that any longer. You have the Justice card here. I was really getting the word like approval, something like that, going this way. Like I already said, I also feel that some of you could be getting justice for, for something that someone has done here. Could be like karma. It's very weird. Like I feel like, I have a very weird thing popping into my head here. I almost feel like you could be having a dream or having dreams at night where it's like if you dealt with a past person who did you dirty here, or just here in general, or a person who just didn't make a move towards you, it's almost like you're having dreams where you're seeing this person like above you. I hope that makes sense. Not like literally above you, but I mean, maybe you have dreams where they're making a bunch of money and you're not, for example. I don't know, that popped into my head. Something very weird like that, where it's like you're seeing this person almost like above you. I feel like if you have had those dreams, that might only be one of you, that this is saying that, there is going to be karmic justice in that situation. But I don't know, it's such a weird message. There you go. You have the 8 of Pentacles. Definitely very good for your finances. You've been getting really good financial cards, and so anything you can do to improve your finances, to learn as well. 8 of Pentacles, he is working diligently. He is really putting in the work into one thing. So if you're struggling in your finances, by the way, this could say that you need to make sure to focus on like one thing at a time. It could say that your energy is too scattered and you need to make sure that you're focusing on the right things as well. I would say that the astrology is pretty freaking simple as far as I'm concerned, right? Capricorn, basically. I would focus on the 80-20 rule. I talk about this stuff all the time, how if something isn't working, figure out what does work and then double down on it. I know it sounds simple and you're going to have to experiment to find these answers, but Again, I think we're in a time where we could be more abundant than ever, but I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be easy. It is going to be work, but you're going to have to, again, you're going to have to experiment, like, to find these things. This could be in work, could be in business, and you're just going to have to try new things, and then when something works, double down on it, like I said. That's where the success will be. Some of you clearly are already successful. For others, I feel like, again, I've said this to you a million times. I only get this message for you, Aries, for some reason. It's like, I feel like recently some of you have made more money, but I also feel this reading is saying, like, okay, keep going. Don't, like, get to this next level here and then just stay there. I feel the universe really wants you to grow for whatever reason. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, you could be protecting your finances at this time, which, again, we are definitely in a time where protecting your finances, I think, is a great thing, or protecting, the money that you do have and all that other stuff. So, I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing at all. With the Justice card, you have the Tower. I do feel there was a Tower moment here, not going to sugarcoat it, because could have been a third party, but mostly because of this Wasp card right there. I literally, like I said, I literally see you, like, looking at two different things in my head. I said that at the beginning of the reading. I feel like you are potentially looking at something that could sting or does sting, like a person, or it could be anything. And I feel you're looking at something that is a transformation as well. We're going to have to get more detail on that for sure. But I definitely feel you've had a Tower moment already. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Magician here. Magician is about using your powers of manifestation to get something you want. I do feel some of you have dealt with a tricky person. So I would be careful of tricky energy, especially right now. Venus retrograde, it can bring people back from the past, for sure. And, I would just, like I said, I would be careful of it, plain and simple. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says you're going to master your material reality in the future. I mean, like, literally every single reading I do for you. You have this card that says you're stepping into a brand new chapter. Definitely stepping into a brand new chapter here, some sort of transformation, especially with the butterfly. When you think about it, butterflies, they go from a caterpillar to a butterfly, but they basically turn into caterpillar soup before they turn into a butterfly. So it's like a destructive process. It is a Tower moment, before they actually become the butterfly. And I feel for a lot of you that that's what you've been going through for years. I feel like you've had challenges, maybe feeling, I have like a little bit of an unsettled feeling as well. I don't necessarily know if it's bad unless it has caused anxiety for you, Aries, or something along those lines. But it's like sometimes I think we try to find a place in life where we settle, not I don't mean like settle like, oh, you're settling. I mean just like so that you can settle, right? So that you can chill out, so that you can, relax at times or whatever. You are kind of chasing that point, right? Maybe it's a certain amount of money, maybe it's a type of relationship. It's going to be different for all of you, but that's like the energy that I get here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Three of Cups. I do feel there is a celebration coming in for you here. Definitely could be love coming in for you. Either you have your eye on someone or someone has their eye on you. You have that Page of Swords there. Page of Swords looking over to the Empress, right? But I feel a deep change, like a metamorphosis needs to happen. Because look, Tower, then we have Temperance, which has a butterfly on it. And you have this butterfly at the end. So it's saying to me that, some sort of deep change needs to happen before you have this celebration. Or you are going through this deep change. Or this is the reward for the deep change that you've gone through. I kind of feel like it's all that, all together, right? You have the Page of Swords. I do get spying energy here, so someone has their eye on you. I actually feel it's good. You go down here to the Fool. The Fool has this dog right here, which represents loyalty, and then you have the Ten of Cups here and the Nine of Cups here. So, very positive energy if you're attracting a new person. Definitely could be an air sign. Could be someone who has like a lot of air in their chart as well, I suppose. But, you have the King of Swords, Page of Swords, could be air. Could also be earth as well. You have the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles. But, I feel like there needs to be some moves made here with the Knight of Pentacles. He's the only knight in the tarot that is not making any moves. So I feel like either someone needs to make a move here or you need to get going, with this energy. I feel there's a lot of abundance coming in here as well. But it's like, you see those empty fields behind him. It like I said, the abundance exists, but you have to go plant the seeds. People always accuse me of being too positive, but I always say like tarot isn't positive or negative. It's like you have to work with this energy. If you don't, nothing is going to happen. So it's like, sorry that I point out the good things that could happen in your life. For those of you that don't want that, you're going to have a Tower moment Your dog's gonna run away, and you're gonna get stung by a wasp. There you go. I was just super negative for you negative Nellies out there. But for everybody else that wants positivity, then I would say, yeah, the opportunity exists, but you're gonna have to put the work in. You're gonna have to plant seeds in those fields, and you have to get started. It's something. If you're wondering, like, what is it that I have to get started on? It's something that maybe is a little bit expansive, scary. Think moon energy, fear of the unknown. You're stepping into the unknown, and you're maybe wanting to work on something else. You probably don't even know what you have to do. If you have a business and you're up here, like I said, and you're trying to grow up here, you might not know what to do. Your job is to Page of Swords. Your job is to go explore, go learn from other people, those types of things. Here you go, Two of Wands. What are you waiting for? Two of Wands. He's just standing at a comfort zone, top of a castle. He needs to get out into the world. He needs to, go. He needs to kind of realize that there's more that he could do. He's standing in the village, basically at the top of his castle where he has always been. The Two of Wands really does represent needing to get out into the world. And, it's a card that says you need to realize that you don't know how everything is going to go. He kind of thinks that he knows everything. And I'm not saying you know everything, but, he has that whole world in his hands. And it just says he needs to go explore the world. There's like so much more that he can experience. With the Page of Swords, you have the Hermit here. Yes, you have to get out of the castle. So someone needs to open up here. This could be an earth sign you're interested in as well. Whatever. Take it how it resonates. Doesn't matter. But what I would say is, like, someone's being a hermit, or it could be you, it could be them. But someone needs to open up here, especially if this is love. With the Three of Cups, and look, the Lovers popped out here. I'm actually going to reshuffle it back into the deck because it wasn't really a pop out, but how interesting is that? And with the Three of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is money. I do feel like there are celebrations of money coming in for you. Also pre-Empress energy, so I like that. Next, in the area of the good stuff, this is going to be good no matter what. It is good anyway. You have this Butterfly Spirit. It says transformation is beautiful. You have this Wasp Spirit. It says sometimes life stings. Again, I feel these maybe past Tower moments have caused some problems. I also get that for some of you, you've had some realizations about people in your life. It's like maybe you started making money and then all of a sudden everybody started asking you for money. And you're like, wow, I can't really trust anyone or something like that. It's like I feel maybe you've had kind of uncomfortable realizations about certain people in your life. And, it almost gives me the feelings of, like an awakening where you have leveled up. It's like, I don't know how to say this, but it's almost like you are realizing that you have leveled up. You have the Seven of Wands, which is setting a certain boundary. And again, I talk about this a lot, that sometimes we do level up in life. Sometimes we are above other people, and someone gets all antsy in their pantsy. So chill out before you let me explain this, right? It's not that you're better than someone else. It's not that they're less than you. It's just we're all operating at different levels. We are all learning at different things, learning different things. But sometimes when we level up in life, people, we need to put up boundaries against certain people, especially if they're not willing to level up, especially if they're not willing to come with us or whatever. It's like, I don't think this is saying you have to cut people out. Like, you could have people that are learning something lower than you, whatever, right? And as long as they're being positive, who the hell cares, right? But if you are dealing with a person who doesn't like seeing you make a bunch of money and they start talking behind your back and stuff, then it's time to cut them out of your life, right? Just that simple. You have the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Fool here. The Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, of course, but really it's a card of bathing in an energy of what you want. So I do feel you really need to make sure that you're bathing in the vibes, that you're bathing in the energy of the things that you want to have in your life. And I would be, very like specific about this. It's like if people start talking about you, you get dragged down, right, to a lower level, then that's where you're going to stay. So I feel like it's just saying ignore it, or, ignore the haters basically and focus on the positive, which we see right here. The Ten of Cups, I think something people don't realize about the Ten of Cups is that those people are standing in the real world, but they're choosing to be happy. The card actually represents the fact that they still have to deal with real world issues. They still have to deal with everything going on in the world, but they are choosing happiness. They are choosing to focus on the good stuff. And I really feel that's what you need to do here with this Ten of Cups. You have the Fool. There's clearly some sort of new beginning. I really feel it's like a brand new chapter. I love that card for you because that's really what it is. It's like, is it necessarily, if you're attracting new love, then yes, this could be a new beginning if you're starting something new, of course. But, really, if this is like part of your business or your career or part of the relationship that you're in right now, it's really just a brand new chapter. I don't necessarily feel that Aries is like leaving something to go to something else. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I actually feel like you need to hold on to this energy of good energy. The Nine of Cups, like the Four of Pentacles is protecting good energy. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, only invest in things that invest in you. I pretty much say this to everyone because, it's so true. I think we're in a time of justice. You have the Justice card here. And, I've been saying to everyone for the rest of your life, the only thing I would pay attention to is cause and effect. Is you put energy into something, what do you get out? And I know it sounds obvious, but again, based off the astrology, we are really in a time where we need to pay extra special attention to putting energy into something. What do I get back from it? And is it worth it? And I talk about leverage a lot in these readings as well, because there might be certain things that you can leverage that make your life easier, and that's what I'd be paying attention to. With the Fool, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, it could be a breakup, but again, this is showing up in the good stuff. This would tell me that you're taking some sort of risk. The Five of Swords, to me, is a card of taking a risk in the tarot, so, I feel for some of you, this could be some sort of risk that you're taking. We're pulling 5 main themes. You have this apple. It says, temptation will test you. I would be careful of a past person. I don't know what is going on with this Venus retrograde. I have the chart up over here, but this Venus retrograde in particular, I'm shooting this video on the 20th, so it actually goes retrograde on the 22nd, but we're in the shadow basically. But for whatever reason, it like everybody has had these messages of like temptation and stuff like that. So be careful of past people, right? You have this Clouds card. It says temporary problems. Yeah, don't get all antsy in your pantsy again about temporary problems. Sometimes I think we can be working towards something comes up, we get really upset and we ruin it. So I feel this is saying any like little roadblocks, they're just little roadblocks. They are things you will overcome. You have this Dark Man card. It says dealings with relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. You have this Lightning card. It says control your anger or you will be sorry. So if you have a person like this in your life, then don't get angry around that person. You have this Bat card that says, take care, enemies are working against you. I do feel this for you, Aries. Like, I don't think it's like enemies, but, there could be people, if you have a YouTube channel, in your comments or, something like that are getting y'all hot and bothered, right? They're just energy vampires. Just ignore it. They're just trying to steal your vibe, and, that's it. You have this Beetle card that says good fortune on it, and this is the only thing I would think of. This to me is like an ascension reading, a level up reading, basically. Again, I always tell people, like, when the haters come out of the woodwork in your life, in any area of your life, when people start hating, it's because you're leveling up. And it's almost like, I look at it as, God not really testing you, but seeing if you're ready. It's like if you respond to the haters, then God's going to be like, oh, you're not ready. And again, I'm not saying you have to believe in God or whatever, but whatever you believe in, it doesn't matter, right? And, what I would say here is it's like a test. It's kind of like, are you going to respond to this? Or are you just going to be up here at this level and just let it go? And that's what I would do if I were you here, Aries. But this looks really good. So love where this is going. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.